we now are going to do our top anticipated movies of 2019. Robert, why don't you go first, as we will be doing this in chronological order.
Kicking off the year, we have Glass coming up pretty soon. I know this movie has fallen off a little bit for you because just human nature setting in, and it might not look as,
2018 has taught me to be weary.
Yeah. Good human doubt has set in.
Yeah.
Which is probably a safe bet, but I'm too much of a fan of the prior two, Glass or /Split / Unbreakable predecessors to not be excited. I love Split and I love Unbreakable, so I'm down to see Glass. I think it looks pretty cool.
Well, I still need to see Split, which I wanted to see. I'm admittedly not a big fan of Unbreakable at all. I don't know. I just don't know what to make of this movie, because at first I thought it looked kind of cool, but then the more I saw trailers, the less interested I was becoming. And then January just never helps.
Yeah.
But Split came out in January, and it
did.
It was apparently pretty good. So I won't have to wait long.
No, a couple weeks.
We'll see. Okay, so my first movie of the year that I'm really hotly anticipating is Happy Death Day to You. As we've mentioned before, it looks like they're adding some new elements, a little bit more sci-fi stuff to this. And I just like that they're making a sequel to something that, while a derivative ripoff of certain things, is for the most part original.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I got first, Happy Death Day to You.
The next one down my list is all the way in April. Shazam. That is my next most anticipated, at least the next appearance on the list. Shazam, yeah. I mean, we already talked about how much we liked Aquaman.
Right.
DC's got a good track record with solo flicks.
Yeah, that seems to be the pattern, that they're, as we mentioned before, in our books, 3 for 3 on the solos, and for lack of a better word, if you look at the scores in absolutes,
0 for 3.
0 for 3 in the team-ups.
And Shazam looks pretty good. Trailers look fun. I'm excited.
It's big with superheroes. It's a cool concept.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I'll be throwing it back slightly to March. I got Captain Marvel. Now, I know that some people have seen the trailers, and I think you actually had said this sentiment too. I've heard a couple times that they're not getting a lot out of the character, at least for what they've shown so far. I'm not really worried about that. I mean, Marvel, as we've said, it's on a barely kind of sort of slight minuscule decline a little bit.
Right.
But, I mean, things can happen. Because remember, 2013 was kind of a weaker year. In fact, it was really weak. It was Dark World and Iron Man 3.
Right.
And then next year they knocked it out of the park with Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, they did.
So maybe this will be a year for reinvention. So I'm hoping this movie will do so. I'm excited for this.
Cool. Well, speaking of Marvel, the next one on my list is Avengers Endgame.
Right.
That would be probably one of the bigger events of the year. I mean, I does this need to be explained? It's like, it's the part 2, essentially, to the story that we got in Infinity War, in a way. It's
part 2 to the 20th movie.
Yeah. And it's a big movie. And it's going to be I feel like it'll be better than Infinity War. You know, it'll give us the ending we wanted Infinity War to have.
See, that's kind of what I was thinking. Is it seems like people just with Marvel movies weren't used to the unresolved sort of ending. So maybe this will, I guess, give that movie closure, or whatever the fuck you want to say.
I think it will.
It seems pretty obvious. I got Beach Bum on here.
Oh boy.
I don't know what the hell it is with this guy. I still don't understand if I hate Spring Breakers or think it's amazing.
Good old Harmony Korine.
I don't get it, man. He's dragging me down. He's dragging me into one of these again. I didn't see Spring Breakers in theaters. But as I said, I still don't know about that one. Mm-hmm. And this kind of looks like it's a little more directly comedic.
Yeah, yeah.
So, keeping in mind his style with a tad of tongue in cheek, kind of sounds perfect in my book. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'll say this: I doubt I'll leave that theater completely disappointed, or at the very least, without having felt like I had an experience in the theater, an interesting theater going experience. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm expecting out of it, and I think I'll get that.
Next one on my list is John Wick 3 Parabellum.
Man.
Yeah, this is, I mean, what else is there to say? This is an event movie in a sense, you know?
Well, but this is an event movie, you know, it's one of the few original that started off as an original. So
yes.
I don't really consider this a sequel in the same way that other things are sequels.
Right.
This isn't based on anything, so it's nice that we're getting new franchises that are new. Mm-hmm. To me, this is a new franchise. What, the first one was 2013 or something?
They're about 2013 or 14.
2013 or 14, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's great that we're continuing something that's new. And
new, original, well done.
And it was, you know, criminally underrated, I think, both of them. And they both deserved more financial success than they got. Hopefully this third one will make way more money than either of the first two, as it deserves plenty more than the first two made.
I think it will. I got a good feeling about it, but all I know for sure is that I'll be along for the ride no matter what happens.
Yeah. See the images with...
He's on a horse? With Angelica Houston?
Angelica Houston and Halle Berry. Mm-hmm. She's got the dogs and shit.
Yeah, they're in a desert.
I'm excited.
I'm intrigued. Let's go.
We got horses. We got some deserts.
A lot of four-legged creatures.
Yeah, and there's still plenty to explore with the origins of the Assassin Guild. Mm-hmm. So we got some good stuff. I also had Shazam. I also had Avengers. It's a 10-year culmination. I know we just talked about it, but still, Jesus.
Yeah, man.
This is going to be something. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm curbing my expectations just a little bit. Just because Infinity War, while it was still very good, I wanted a little more out of it. And I'm pretty hopeful that maybe this will deliver on that front. Mm-hmm. And it seems like it will be focusing on some of the Rogue Avengers.
Right.
Because we got...
some Ronin, got some more of Cap, some more of Black Widow.
More Cap, more Black Widow. War Machine survived the snap, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. War Machine. Those are like the best characters in my mind. Mm-hmm. Sucks that Falcon didn't make it.
Yeah, damn it.
That was the one Rogue Avenger I was really sad to see in the snap, but he'll probably be back.
And M'Baku. He's alive, right?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I think he might be. But who knows if he'll be featured.
I just remember most of the Black Panther people were dead.
Yeah, I know Black Panther died.
No, I think you're... I don't know.
Shuri died. I know because we see that in the trailer.
Yeah. M'Baku, I think you're right.
M'Baku's alive.
I think he's alive. So, if you got Cap, Widow, War Machine, M'Baku, that's a pretty badass team right there. Mm-hmm. I can mess with that.
Same.
Yeah.
Moving on. We have... Oh, wait, what else do you have? John Wick.
John Wick, which I also have.
Oh, man.
That's tied for first for my most anticipated of the year.
It's tied.
Yeah, I've got one, man.
You got one more?
Yeah. It's tied for first for most anticipated. Because, again, Endgame, technically speaking, it should be, but I had to curb my expectations ever so slightly just because of Infinity War. Mm-hmm. However, with John Wick 3, I have extremely high expectations, and I'm expecting it to at least be on the level of 2. So then next, I've got, after John Wick, which I'm extremely excited for, Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
That's on mine as well, yeah.
We've got some magnificent nightmare visions.
We got not just one monster, not just two monsters. We got Godzilla, we got some Ghidorah, we got some Mothra and Rodan.
Yeah,
oh boy,
some shit's going down, and by that I mean buildings and stuff.
And the White House and tornadoes and fire tornadoes and shit.
That's what I mean. It's like the monsters and all the. They're literally creating a crazy shitstorm.
Yeah.
It's really going to be something.
Too, really.
You got Vera Farmiga's in this, right?
Yeah, Vera Farmiga.
Yeah. I'm a big
Kyle
fan
Chandler.
of her. I'm a fan of Kyle Chandler.
Pulling it out.
I like it. I like this cast. It's very not your uber typical. Mm-hmm. I like what I'm hearing.
Right.
Let's see. So yeah, Godzilla King of the Monsters is going to be pretty awesome. What else you got?
I got a movie on here called. This one might not appear on many people's lists. It's called Ad Astra.
Okay.
So what this is about is, I'll read the official plot synopsis or logline. 20 years after his father left on a one-way mission to Neptune in order to find signs of extraterrestrial intelligence, Roy McBride, an Army Corps engineer, travels through the solar system to find him and understand why his mission failed. Brad Pitt's in this. Tommy Lee Jones is in this. Ruth Nega's in this. Donald Sutherland is in this. It's directed by James Gray, who I haven't seen any of his movies, but all of his movies have done pretty well. But let's give it up for Neptune, guys. That planet doesn't get enough love. It's blue. It's pretty cool looking. Like, let's go. Like, I'm good for a good space adventure.
And perhaps there's some extraterrestrial life on Neptune.
Let's get here's another one. The DP who did this is the guy who shot Interstellar.
Okay.
Not that matters so much, but the dude is
that helps.
It helps, and he's the guy's really careful with what he chooses project wise. So the guy knows how to shoot space. Yeah. So let's fucking go. I want a head trip movie. Yeah,
this is definitely. I didn't have this on my top 10 list, but this is something I have on my overall list that I'm looking forward to. I just gotta see a trailer though.
Yeah, me too.
Before I can really decide that this is something I'm super anticipating.
And then my next one was Godzilla also.
Okay. So my next one, well, I guess I'm a huge hypocrite because my next one is another one of those where there is no trailer. But damn it, on paper, this just sounds much too good to be true. And I'm talking about Stuber. If you'd like to pull up the synopsis.
Well, for Stuber, there are a couple big names in this that you may recognize. First of all, it stars Kumail Nanjiani, who you may know as, he's in a lot of stuff. Silicon Valley. He was on, what do you call it? He wrote that movie, The Big Sick. He's a really talented comic. He's got a really distinct voice. But it's him and Dave Bautista. And it's about a mild-mannered Uber driver named Stu, who picks up a grizzled detective who is hot on the trail of a sadistic, bloodthirsty terrorist. They find themselves thrust into a harrowing ordeal where they have to keep their wits, keep themselves unharmed, and work together while maintaining a high-class rating as an Uber driver. So this has also got Iko Uwais in it.
Man, see, there you go.
And Jimmy Tatro.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that cast alone, man, it's just, please don't pull a mile 22. Please don't pull a mile 22. This sounds so good on paper. Mm-hmm. And Iko Uwais, man, he hasn't had his big break, his huge break he deserves.
We need a good regular comedy.
Yeah.
This could be that. I mean, it says action elements.
Yeah, but that's another thing. It's like they're look it up, people playing at home. Look up how many regular comedies there are. Mm-hmm. Like Thor Ragnarok does not count. Dramedies, I'm saying not counting in this case. I'm saying regular ass comedies. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping this is the one to maybe convince studios that, hey, you can make these and people want to see them if they're good, of course.
Right.
I have really high hopes for this. I'm hoping that when we see a trailer, I still have high hopes.
Same.
So what do you got left?
This will be a surprise. My next one is Rocket Man. And that's purely because I'm just fucking like Elton John, man. Like, goddamn it. This is going to be my Bohemian Rhapsody for the year. Okay. Where people are like, I just want to see it because of the music. I'm like, yeah, Queen's really, really good, but like, Elton John was just one dude. I mean, yeah, he had a co-writer, but so? Like, let's fucking do it. Also, Taron Egerton's also, like, actually fucking singing. Like, I'm sorry, Rami Malek. Like, that wasn't you singing. I'm not that impressed. Like, get up there and fucking actually sing.
Yeah.
So, like, what the hell?
I'm just kind of done with band movies. I don't know. I just don't think they're very interesting.
But that's good news, though, because there's no band.
Okay, I mean like singer movies.
I know.
God, why I oughta...
Oh, you.
Yeah, straight to the moon. Well, so I guess that's your pick. I got Hobbs and Shaw next.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get The Rock in something good, it's like, it's
Let's see it.
Having your cake and eating it too. You're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting The Rock being awesome, but in something good. That's the way it should be, because I think everyone likes The Rock.
Yeah.
But it's no secret that sometimes he chooses to be in things that are not so great.
And even though they somehow still do good.
Yeah. that seems to be the case. But, I mean, I'm anticipating this for a lot of reasons. I feel like, for one, this will be David Leitch sort of back in his element, in a way.
I agree.
More
pugilism focused.
Yeah. I would say as a director.
Yeah, no superheroes.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's done stunt coordination on superhero movies, but I'm talking straight up directing. So he's back to his regular punch, shoot, explosion, drive car action movie. Vanessa Kirby, that always helps.
Yes. Hopefully more of her in this than we got in Fallout.
Yeah, because, again, criminally underutilized in that. Maybe for the best, who knows?
Perhaps.
I mean, it's just one of those things. So, I think it seems like she'll have a much larger part in. I don't know. So, I don't know. I'm just also curious to know how this is going to work.
Yeah.
Are they going to make more of this type of spin-off?
Are we ever going to get Fast and Furious 9? Is this feud going to stop?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, but I feel like if this is good, this will keep me patient in the meantime. Honestly, if this was the last one and it's amazing, I wouldn't mind the series being done. It's like, what the fuck else are they going to... I told you, they've only got one thing left. Monster trucks and On the Moon.
Yeah. Where's the rocket going to be, man?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, so what's your next one?
My next one is Spider-Man Far From Home. There's not much else I have to say here other than Mysterio. That's the only reason why. He's like probably my favorite Spider-Man villain beyond like the main ones. Like, your Doc Ocks and your Green Goblins. Mysterio's like just the best. Him and Kraven the Hunter are probably tied for my favorite.
Yeah.
And Jake Gyllenhaal's one of my favorite actors working today. So let's do it. Even if I wasn't the biggest fan of Homecoming, I feel like this could be pretty decent. Still got to see a trailer, though.
See, that's my problem is I thought Homecoming was pretty not great. I don't. It's hard for me to get super excited about this, but I agree with you. Mysterio's that prospect does make me a little more excited than some of the other choices they could have done. So I guess there's that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for the trailer. So that's that for. Is that all for yours, or do you got one more?
I got 3 more.
Oh, okay. So I'll go with... You know what? I'll add my honorable mention as one since we had a couple doubles. So this is the other one tied for first place for most anticipated. It Chapter 2.
Oh, wow.
Man, am I excited for this, because I absolutely loved the first one. It was a lot of things. It was a really good adaptation with a slightly different take.
More modern than the book.
Yeah, it was 80s rather than 50s. Let's see. I don't know what the fuck else. Oh, it was a good horror movie.
Yeah, for sure. But well acted, good kid acting, good acting from Bill Skarsgård, well directed.
That's what I mean. That there was a lot that I like about the first one, and I read the book in the time since watching the first movie, and that has only made me more excited because there's really the book is so big. It's 1,054 pages or something crazy like that.
Damn.
But I sped through that shit in like a month. Point being, there's so much from the book that hasn't been explored yet. And I know they can't cover all of it, but I'm excited to see how they cover really any of it, which I know is kind of crazy. So, It Chapter 2 I'm very excited about, and that's tied for first place for most anticipated for me.
My next one is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, Tarantino can wane between making really, really dope movies and movies that are just fine. This seems like it's going to be a return to him making really good movies. It's got a lot of wild stuff in it, but it takes place in Los Angeles in the late 60s, which seems like, I mean, like Tarantino should have probably been born like 40 years before then so he could exist then. Like the dude's just so old-fashioned in how he makes movies. Throw in Charlie Manson, throw in Bruce Lee, throw in a bunch of other weird stars, Steve McQueen. It's like, what is this movie going to be? And I can't wait to see what it ends up being. Great, amazing cast, too. DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Bruce Dern. I mean, Jesus. Damian Lewis. Just a lot of people in this. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's basically covering all the bases of the 60s.
Yeah.
Movie stars, you got martial artists, you got everything.
Pretty much.
Okay, so I'll add this honorable mention since we had a bunch of doubles. Joker.
I'll that was in my next one, and I'll let you know right now. That is my most anticipated movie of next year.
My most. Number one.
Because it's the one I know the least about, and I'm so damn intrigued by everything I've seen.
I think it's the fact that you took a movie that on paper at first to me sounded so stupid, but then you do things like Scorsese is producing.
You got the guy who wrote The Fighter and 8 Mile writing it. You got Joaquin, you got De Niro, you got Zazie Beetz.
That's what I mean.
What is this?
You bring in everything after the fact of what we're initially told. Mm-hmm. After the fact, I like everything I've been hearing so far.
Mm-hmm. And seeing.
Yeah, I know it's like I hate being the guy who looks at set photos, but damn it, they're everywhere. It was hard not to see. So I'm very excited about this just to see this is really. You're right. This has the most mystery to it. Mm-hmm. Even with all that we've seen, what is their take really?
Who knows?
Who the hell else is going to be in this?
What is this based on?
What is this based on? Where's the? Well, come on. They're always thinking sequels.
Yeah.
Where is this going?
What are the copycat movies are going to be like if this does well? You know, like it's just the implications of it, and I don't know. I'm excited whenever I think about the possibilities with this.
Right. Yeah. This will be an interesting, probably melding of different worlds. Mm-hmm. You know, it seems like the obvious one is gangster movies meet Batman movies.
Right.
So that'll be interesting. Mm-hmm. So it looks like 2019, although my list for the whole year is a bit scarce, mm-hmm. I think there's definitely some standouts here.
Yeah, there's some. There's also some upsetting trends that we didn't mention in some of the movies that we didn't have on our anticipated lists. Like we talked about, like June. Is it June that has?
Yeah, well, June it kind of is a microcosm of a lot of things I think is wrong. Mm-hmm. So when you have John Wick 3, I think that's a perfectly fine thing to make a sequel to. Mm-hmm. You left the story open. In fact, 2 has a cliffhanger ending. Mm-hmm. And it's an original idea and whatnot. So they're striking while the iron's hot. You can't blame them. Toy Story 3, it seemed to me like, well, that's life. Got to move on. All right, great. So let's move on from this franchise. It's done. But nope, let's make 4. Just kidding. And I'm just sitting here thinking, fuck you, okay? I'm not going. I'm done. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we've talked about this on end. The fact that they're making a remake of Child's Play while Don Mancini is still working on his original series, the movie series, which will now be a mini-series for this, I guess, 8th installment.
Right.
That is just so unbelievably ludicrous that such a scenario can even happen.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the lengths they're going to keep things going. It's getting ridiculous.
Well, hopefully hopefully the year has a gross overall reaction of being better than 2018, but who knows?
Hopefully. I'm also hoping that we catch wind of some more originals out there.
Yeah, maybe.
As much as I like an Avengers 4 or John Wick 3, come on, guys, Can we get something like E.T. ever again?
Yeah.
Just one.
A lot of the quarter 3 and 4 schedules are super open. Like a lot of the
Yeah.
movies that ended up being my favorites for this year, I didn't even know the title of.
Yeah.
So, or at this point. So, who knows? There could be a lot, or not even could be, there will be a lot of surprises in store for 2019. Hopefully good ones.
Hopefully good ones, and hopefully they make indie movies a little more readily available.
Right.